Um, okay, so today we're continuing our jaw release work that we started last week. I don't remember if you've all done that. Have you all done that with me already? I think maybe just Heather. Gabe, did we do any jaw release?
I feel like I missed Saturday, so if that's what you guys were
Okay.
doing on Saturday, I missed it. But
Okay,
I
I
feel
think
like
that
we
was on
have,
Saturday.
yeah,
Okay, so yeah, I want to focus on some jaw release stuff because one of my teachers is teaching that right now, and it's just been like, oh, like it's been a revelation and just amazing work. Because the jaw is a really huge compensator, which basically means when our jaw is tight, it starts to create problems throughout our whole structure. And it's a whole sap of energy that we don't need to be wasting, basically. So today, our intent is going to be to have our ass and our legs turned on, but our jaw relaxed. So make sure you have your block and then go ahead and grab a seat. Okay, and just to review, so two areas that we'll be focusing on for jaw release. One, if you trace from the nose around the cheekbones, Kiko, if you trace around the cheekbones here, and then you'll get to there's a muscle right here. And if you press in, okay, so it's like the hinge of the jaw. So that's going to be one area. Okay, can you find that? Did you find it, Gabe? I can't tell.
oh, I
Yeah?
got it. Yeah,
Yeah, you got it. Okay, so it's like right, not here on the chunk of it, but it's like right here in the hole, the divot in front of it.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good. Okay. And then here on the side, here beneath, well, in between the cheekbone and the ear, if you drag down from there, you'll eventually find some tensions somewhere, probably. For me, it's right about there, and it's like, then my Ewok comes out. Okay. So these are the areas we'll be focusing on loosening up. And also, today to start our practice, we'll start just loosening up tissue of the jaw with very light pulling down of the skin of the jaw. So here it's like, I don't know, almost like you see crabs, how they like eat and they like, or whatever they're doing. I don't even know if they're eating or if they're like moving sand around. I'm not sure. But one side and then the other side. Yeah. So that's just to help wake up this tissue. And then here, the space between the ear and the jaw, just practice pulling that down a bit, massaging into that area. Okay, awesome. So we'll practice having our legs on, but our jaw relaxed. Okay, so for this, straighten out the right leg, cross the left knee on top of the right. Inhale, side bend over towards the right. Exhale, activate the right foot, spread the toes. Inhale, stretch the left side of the ribs up. Exhale, press left sit bone down. Forward bend. Walk your hands forward. With your legs in this position, you'll probably notice your hamstrings a whole lot more, or your calf muscles. So don't feel for needing to go super deep. Feel for instead lifting your chest and your ribs up like you're flattening your back. Once you have that lift, exhale, relax your chin to chest slowly, feeling how that continues to deepen the stretch in your leg. Soften your back teeth away from one another. Place your hands behind you. Tricky, tricky motion here. You're going to slide your feet so that your right foot is underneath left knee, left ankle is on top of right thigh. Try and do it with no hands. Whoa. Obviously, if you have to use hands, please do. Okay. And then walk your hands over to the right. Shoelace twisting towards the foot. Inhale, stretch into the left side of the ribs once again with a deep breath. So reach the outer left thigh towards the floor. Inhale, feel your ass cheeks softening up and relax your jaw. Okay, hands back to center. And straighten out the left leg, cross right knee on top of left. Left hand on the floor, side bend to the left. Inhale, open the right side of the ribs up. Exhale, reach through the right wrist. Inhale, get your breath as big as you can. Exhale, feel your jaw relaxing. Walk your hands forward. Inhale, keep your spine lengthened up tall. If you want more stretch, exhale and flex your toes back towards your shin. Okay, now hands back behind you. Slide the left knee under the right foot, left foot under right knee. Once you're there, with right ankle on top of left thigh, walk hands over to the left. Inhale, send a deep breath into the lower right low back. Exhale, feel your right shoulder floating forwards. Slowly walk your hands back to center. And then bring your torso up. Okay, let's lay on our backs. And we'll dive right into a bridge series today. So first lay on your back. Have your heels close up towards your sit bones. And then walk your feet forwards about 1 foot. Have your palms relaxed, facing up, and your shoulders totally relaxed, jaw totally relaxed. From there, go ahead and press your feet into the floor and lift your hips up. Now, bring your hands onto the sides of your jaw. So not in the cheek divot, but actually here on the sides. Feel for massaging down the sides of the jaw while your hips are lifted, while your bum is turned up. And as you start to release tensions that have built up in your jaw, you might notice that your legs almost like want to lower down or collapse. Feel for keeping a strong press through your legs throughout the whole release of your jaw. Good. Lower your hips on down. Now we're gonna get into which is your weaker side glute. So bring your feet a little closer together. Then cross your right knee over the left thigh. Press the left foot up. This time your hands can be relaxed down. We'll get into the jaw massage in just a bit, but not yet. Okay, left hip up. Feel for getting a sense of how stable this hip feels. Okay, lower down. Uncross the legs, bring the right foot onto the floor, and then cross the left thigh over the right thigh. Press up with the right foot, lift the right hip, lift your hips up. Now get a sense of how this hip feels. Slowly lower down. Was everybody able to feel for one hip being a little more unstable or weaker? Just give me like a reach and arm up so I know. Okay, and if not, you get to work both sides. Okay, so whichever hip felt like the weaker side, keep that foot on the floor, cross the other leg over. So for my hips, my left hip is a little more unstable. So cross the right thigh over that left. Okay. If it's the opposite for you, then you do the other leg. Okay. And if you couldn't identify a side, don't worry, you get to do both sides. Okay. So arms relax down. Here, press through the floor, lift the hips up. And pendulum. So go for 6 of inhale, lower the hips only to the halfway point between your hips and the ground. And then exhale, press through the foot, lift the hips up. Go for 6 in total. And also, don't make this a fast rep. Make it a slow rep. As long as you're exhaling, as long as you can go before you inhale, keep pressing your hip up. Jaw relaxed. Okay, lower the hips all the way down. Back release pose. For this, you change the cross of legs. But so this time, whichever foot was on the floor, that ankle is now on top of the opposite thigh. Then you pick up the foot on the floor and you draw your knee towards the chest. So we're basically stretching out the hip that you just strengthened. Focus on the hinges of your jaw. Send deep breaths down into your hips while you have softness in the hinges of your jaw. Okay, so lower the feet back down. For the people who did not have one side that was more unstable, now you're going to do those pendulums on the other side. So if you just had your left foot on the floor, now right foot goes on the floor and you'll lift that side up. For those of us who do have one side that felt a little less stable or weaker, put that foot back on the floor again. Okay, arms relaxed down by the side, or this time bring your thumbs into your cheekbones. So underneath the cheekbones, in the hinges of the jaw. Feel for pressing your thumbs into this space. Lift the hips up. Inhale, lower your hips down halfway. Exhale, press through the floor with the foot. Lift the hips up. Go for 5 more. Remember, have your hips pressing up for as long as you can exhale and beyond. until you have to inhale, then you lower it up. So it's like you're pressing up for maybe 8 to 10 seconds. At the same time, you're coaxing your jaw into being able to relax open and release tensions that you don't need to hold on to. After 6, slowly and controlled, lower your hips back down. From there, go ahead and change the cross of your legs once again to come into back release pose. So that whichever hip was just pressing into the floor, that foot is now on top of the other thigh. Then pick up the foot on the floor and once again draw the knee to the chest. So you'll notice if we had one hip that was a little less stable, we just did 2 rounds for it. But the reality is, if we have an instability between one side and the other, we actually create more balance by doing 2 reps on one side and on the side that needs it. Because the other side was strong, the other side was stable. It doesn't need that extra support. Okay, spinal twist with back release. Have your feet still in this position, your legs still in this position, and whichever is the sole of the foot that's on top of the thigh, start to lower it down towards the floor, twisting your hips. So my left foot is on top, and I twist my hips over to the right. So the sole of the foot comes onto the floor. Send deep breaths down into your hips. And bring your hands to the sides of your jaw. Feel for massaging the sides of the jaw here. If you're working to stabilize one hip, stay here. If you were not able to determine which side is weaker, change the cross of your legs slowly, twist onto the other side. Then if you removed your hands, once again, bring hands to the jaw to massage this area while you're getting opening in your hips, back of hip and hip flexors. Come out of the pose, bring your arms into goal post, cactus, or into a T, and then slowly roll your hips back up. Bring the floating feet onto the floor, uncross the legs, and then roll onto your right side. Once you're on your right side, have your knees bent, have your feet in line with your spine, and your arm is relaxed on the right arm. Sorry, your head is relaxed on the right arm. So here we have our left hip on top. We're going to do 3 rounds, or if you need it in particular, 4 rounds, okay? But we'll practice 10 clamshells where the ankles stay together. So inhale, and then exhale, keep ankles together, lift the left knee up, opening the hips. Inhale, lower the top knee back down to meet the right. And then exhale, lift up the left knee. Here, aim for having your head relaxed on the arm so that your neck and your jaw can be disengaged. Go for 8 more. Jaw is relaxed. Okay. Once you finish up, have your knees resting one on top of the other. Just close your eyes for a moment. Feel for relaxing your jaw while you feel the activation going on in your hip and your glute muscles. Okay, roll on to the other side. So now you lay on your left and your right hip is going to be on top. Have your knees bent, have your feet in line with your sacrum. Your left ear is resting on your left bicep and the arm is straight. Keep the ankles together. Take a big inhale. Exhale, ankles stay together. Reach the right knee towards the ceiling. Inhale, lower the knee down. Go for 9 more. If your neck is relaxed as it can be, your jaw is relaxed as it can be. Once you finish, just reach one arm up so I can tell that you're done. Okay, awesome. Okay, so if you are going to work both hips, stay here and do 5 more, then you flip over and you do 5 on the other side. If you're working to stabilize one hip in particular, go back to having that hip on top, which might mean you stay here, I don't know, or you roll onto the other side. So in my case, my left hip needs more work. So I'm going to change sides and have that hip on top again. Okay. For those who are doing the work on one hip, go for 10 reps. Okay. And once you finish those reps, roll onto your back once again. Here we're going to assess, once again, the stability in the hip. So cross your left thigh over right thigh, or the calf muscles over the thigh. Press the right foot into the floor, let the hips up. Keep your hips up without lowering down. Get a sense how stable the right foot and right hip feel. Lower your hips down slowly. Bring left foot onto the floor and then cross the right knee over left thigh or cross the calf over the thigh. Press the foot into the floor, lift hips up. Notice if it feels at all different now that you've done those other exercises. Slowly lower the hips down. Bring both feet onto the floor. Step your feet forwards about half a foot now. And then step your feet to the edges of your mats. And turn your toes to face slightly outwards. From there, go ahead and bring your thumbs into the hinges of your jaw again, so in the cheeks. Gently press into this area, or press as much as feels like a good release. And then start to press through your feet, lift your hips up into bridge. Here, feel for being able to have your hips lifting up and strong while your jaw is still relaxing. To me, this is like a symbol or a sign of being able to let go of tension or things we don't need, but still being able to stay clear and strong on our paths, taking steps forward. And in fact, the more that we let go of that we don't need, the lighter that journey becomes. Notice if your hips want to sink down, keep lifting hips up. You might feel like your ass muscles are on in a totally new way. It may have something to do with normal compensation patterns in your jaw. So keep your hips lifting. Keep your ass turning on, even if you can feel the burn. And have your jaw still relaxed. Slowly lower your hips down. And our peak pose for today is one-legged bridge. So have your arms relaxed down by sides. Have your feet in whatever position feels better for going up into one-legged bridge. So for example, you might want to have your feet a little closer towards one another. Inhale, expand your breath. Exhale, press your feet into the floor, lift your hips up. Inhale, bend the right knee, bring it towards the chest. And then exhale, straighten the right leg up towards ceiling. Keep your hips up. Keep your jaw relaxed. Slowly bend the right knee back towards the chest. Lower the right foot to the floor. Keep your hips up. Bend the left knee towards chest. Then exhale, straighten the left heel up towards ceiling. And then you have the choice to either reach to the heel to stretch out hamstrings, or to point through the toes or reach through the ball of the foot to stretch out hip flexors. Keep your strong foot pressing into the floor. Keep your jaw relaxed. Slowly lower the left foot back to the floor. Keep hips up for a few more moments. Okay, to lower down, listen carefully. On your exhales, you're going to lower down only part of the way. And you're going to open up your jaw and exhale out the mouth. So take a big inhale. Exhale, open your jaw wide. Exhale through the mouth and only lower the upper back to the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, lowered mid back down as you have your jaw wide open, exhaling through the mouth. Hips are still partially up. Deep inhale. Exhale, lower your low back down. Keep your sacrum curling up as you have an open mouth, wide jaw. And then take one deep inhale with your sacrum curling upwards. Exhale, curl your tailbone back down to the floor. Relax the hips, jaw is wide open. Shavasana. Go ahead and straighten out your legs. Feel all of the grounding, strength, and energy moving in your legs. And can you feel for being grounded in the here and now through your legs while also having a relaxed and open jaw? With each exhale, can you feel for your jaw softening one more layer? With each inhale, can you feel for soaking up the good feeling, strength in your legs? Today, for the rest of the day, practice noticing what feels like you can let it go a little bit more, not totally, yet still stay on your path. And in fact, you may ask yourself, what must I let go of in order to stay on my path? Start to move hands and toes. Bend your knees, bring your feet onto the floor. Roll over to one side. Sit up with a relaxed jaw. And then help your head out the last bit of the way. Ah. hope you all feel as good and grounded as I do. Yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have
That
an
was
awesome
good.
day staying connected to your ass and loosening up in your jaw, everybody.
Have a beautiful day.
Yes, have a
Thank you,
great day,
Andrew.
everybody.